Hey guys, today I want to show you every single Lego Bucky Barnes / Winter Soldier, and yes, even one Captain America minifigure that's ever been made. For those that don't know, Bucky was briefly Captain America in the comics, and that's where the one on the left comes from, but let's just get into breaking down the full history right after you hit like and subscribe down below. Now, you might be surprised to learn that the first ever Lego Bucky Barnes wasn't even Bucky or the Winter Soldier himself, it was Bucky during his days as Captain America from the comics. This came out at Toy Fair 2012 and was offered with Iron Man in a pair, and only 125 of them were produced, although there were some extras made for Lego employees and things like that. My estimate is that there's probably about 500 out there actually, but on paper there's only 125 that were passed out at Toy Fair. That being said, this had the old style of shield before we got like the new Captain America shield that had printing on the front as well as a unique printed head and torso. I love the little radio that's printed on his belt there, and on the back we've got a little star canteen and some great back printing as well. Given how rare this figure is on today's market, he's worth about $660 as of this video. The first official Winter Soldier was actually a GWP Polybag at the Lego store around the time that the original UCS helicarrier dropped back in 2015. Now, this, of course, came out a year after the Winter Soldier film, and it's kind of a mix of the Winter Soldier from the movie and the comics. Of course, we get that great face mask there that covers his mouth on the head, and we also get a reversible head that has the classic Bucky eyes, the mask that is from the comic books. We also get the first ever Winter Soldier printed arm here, which is really nice with that red star and the black lines to show the robotic arm. Then, of course, we get amazing torso print with the holster there, as well as the belt along the belt line there, and some great printing on the back. And uniquely enough, we actually get side leg printing with another holster that continues onto the front with the strap there. So overall, this figure is really cool and pretty crazy to think that this was offered in a polybag all those years ago. We'd get our next Bucky the following year in 2016 in the Captain America sets for Civil War. This figure is really nice too. His arm is actually more detailed than the one we just looked at, with some different gray and black accenting colors in there, and the red star. We've got a black glove and black legs with an exclusive torso that was only ever used on this figure. Great printing on the back and pretty good printing on the front as well. Then, of course, the head underneath is the same head that Lego was using for Star-Lord up until the time we got the unique Chris Pratt head that is now used on any Chris Pratt figure. We also get that long brown hair, and considering this figure came in 2 sets and is pretty plentiful, this is probably the least expensive Bucky to get out there. That being said, considering the 2025 figure is so bad, maybe the value of this one will go up because people will want this since it's the more accurate of the two. Only time will tell, but the one thing time has told is this is a great figure that has aged really well. We wouldn't see Bucky again for 2 more years, and that would be in the Bricktober pack. For those that don't know, Bricktober was a thing that Lego used to do in collaboration with Toys R Us, where you would get 4 exclusive minifigures in a pack that you could get only at Toys R Us. Sadly, I never saw this pack in person, and I know many others who never did either, meaning it was not distributed very well and became very rare very quickly. That being said, this is also probably the most detailed version of Bucky we ever got, having dual molded legs with printing on the side, an immaculate torso print that looks exactly like the movie and really stands out. Then, of course, that silver arm with the gold detailing on it that looks really awesome, and a head here that does look quite a bit like Sebastian Stan. It's not my favorite head we've gotten to date for the character, but I do like it quite a bit, and I think this figure has aged incredibly well. Aside from the hair, every single piece on this figure is exclusive, and so that makes this a really cool figure and very desirable all these years later. Crazy as it is, we wouldn't see Bucky in a Lego set again for 3 more years, this time in the collectible minifigure Series 1 for Marvel Studios. I would say this is the next most detailed Bucky, the only reason being that, yes, he does have leg printing, but he doesn't have side printing like the Bucky we just looked at. Other than that, though, I do love this figure a lot. In fact, I use this head for my own Sig Fig, the figure that I say looks like me. So I may have a little bit of bias toward this one. Anyways, just look at the detailed printing on this black arm with silver and gold lines for the roboticness of it. He did come with a knife and the modern Captain America shield, although it's more associated with Sam than Bucky. That being said, the leg print is really nice as well, with continuing print from the torso down to the hips, down to the legs, and of course that head is reversible as well, making this a really great figure, and probably the version of Bucky that most of you have in your collection, since he was available pretty widely pretty recently. And when I look at this figure, I just think, who the hell is Bucky? Because I do not know what LEGO was thinking. This version of Bucky came in the 2025 LEGO Marvel Captain America Civil War Airport Battle, and while the torso is really detailed, it's the torso design from the Winter Soldier movie, not the version from Civil War. I mean, when I show you the Civil War one next to it, they're not even attempting to, create the same costume. That being said, this is also our first Bucky that didn't get arm printing on the robotic arm, so that's a huge miss as well. And I really don't understand why he has black hair and a reddish-brown, beard. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't look anything like Sebastian Stan. The printed legs are nice, but they're kind of becoming standard issue among LEGO Marvel now, because so many characters have them, from the Avengers Tower to Sam and all kinds of other characters, and now Bucky. So unfortunately, this video does kind of end with the worst Bucky of them all, but hopefully it's a rock bottom that LEGO can just soar up from and make great Bucky figures in the future, because I gotta tell you, this one ain't it. Alright guys, thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to hit like and subscribe down below if you haven't. Check out all of my other minifigure timeline and comparison videos, and even my upgrade of this horrible 2025 Bucky. I'll see you guys on the next video, and until next time, build on.